My husband's friend said things about my body and he just joined in, and later told me I shouldn't complain and enjoy the attention while it lasts. Now I am done. I had already had the terms of separation drawn up 6 months ago when during a heated argument he said we don't have kids. You should be thankful it's only me you clean up after. I kept hearing it in my head. Thankful? For cleaning up behind a grown man 10 years older than me? He apologized the next day in detail and told me why what he said was wrong and that he doesn't believe it. But maybe it's just out of my character, but I don't think the things you say in those moments are just hurtful words. Little bit of truth in them. And then I found his Reddit account a few days ago. I accidentally saw the username when he showed me a screenshot. I tried, Lamau not really, not to memorize it, and it took me 2 days to get the courage to look. In between the comments on NSFW subreddits was complaints about me, and posts about me too. One post he'd be ripped to shreds and told he was a piece of crap. Reading those comments made me realize I was nothing but a effing idiot to think love can fix things. I was 20 when I met him and he was 35. I thought people were being dramatic or annoying about our age gap because my single father who raised me didn't have an issue. But then I realized he was just the same type of effing creep. It was almost like my father pre-groomed me to accept certain behavior to make it easier for the other men in my life. I'm getting off topic, but I came home early today after a rough day at work and finding out my direct reporting manager had been deleted by her husband, then walked in the door to see my lazy, filthy one. I told him what happened to her. I started to cry. He didn't console me. He said we don't know what made him do that. Let's wish both of them luck and move on with our day. Wish her luck? The effing dead lady? I tried to convince myself he just didn't pay attention. That soothed me for about an hour, until I was in the middle of making dinner and he complained that it was already 6:45 p.m. I told him he shouldn't be that hungry yet. He just ate half a bag of chips and left them on the table. So instead of A, helping me finish dinner, B, apologizing and waiting silently and patiently, C, finishing the bag of chips, or D, just laughing it off, he threw the bag of chips at me. 7 years together, 4 married, and he's never done anything that downright rude, because low self-esteem aside, that's something that won't fly with me either way. The chips landed all over the floor I had just mopped and swept. Whatever glare I gave him, it was enough to make him grab the broom in 30 seconds. It wasn't enough to make him at least check that it was all swept up and vacuum after. So when I finished dinner and brought our plates to the dinner table, thinking wow, I really spoil him. The entire time we've dated, I've always made his plates and brought them right to him. No one has ever done that for me. And I stepped on a chip. It didn't hurt or anything, but I screamed. Not sure why. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran to the home office and came back out with the papers and pen, put them in front of his dinner plate and walked out while he was yelling my name. I'm eating a burger and fries in my car right now and realizing I have to start all over. My life is done. My love for him is too. I hope I don't cave. I hope I don't let him convince me. I hope if I start to change my mind I come back and read this post so that I understand this is not a heated decision. This is something I need to do if I ever want anything like a real effing life. I should have left for good when he told me that getting a master's degree is for men. I should have left when I picked up woodworking and simple robotics as hobbies and he told me that I might be transgender, and that he can't be attracted to a woman that wants to be a man. I'm not trans or transphobic. I just like the smell of freshly sawed wood and making new things. I should have left when I got accepted into the best university in the state and he told me that women would be happier if they stopped trying to compete with men. I should have left when my dad died and told me I wasn't upset enough about the man who would choke me over burning food and dinner not being good at 11 years old. Our relationship got considerably worse after the wedding when I told him everything my dad had done. I should have left when I got groped at a concert and he bought the guy a drink later. I should have left when his friends said things about my body and he just joined in, and later told me I shouldn't complain and enjoy the attention while it lasts. I should have left when I told him I wasn't sure if I wanted kids, and he told me I wasn't a real woman if I didn't want them. I should have left when he admitted to having his fellow officers follow me and show up to my job to make sure I was actually where I said I was. I should have left when he gave me the silent treatment for a month when I told him it was controlling and would only communicate via sticky notes. I should have left when I caught him sending nudes to a 19-year-old. I definitely should have left him when the same girl replied to his nude photos with telling him how much of a loser he is and saying she felt bad for his wife. Besides being predatory, that one was quite frankly just embarrassing. I guess the reason I stayed so long is that he makes it seem like he's trying. After I caught him texting, he immediately signed up for intimacy addict therapy. When he said things that were hateful towards women, I would then see videos in his YouTube watch history about unlearning sexism. Watched all the way through. I would think, hey, at least that's way more than my dad ever did. Hey, at least he doesn't hit me. Hey, at least he brings me flowers and takes me on dates often. Men are just like that, I was told. Men have to be respected, I was told. Your husband deserves full trust, I thought. To this day, I'm not sure if he did these to please me temporarily or because he meant it and at least half tried. I made the mistake of not leaving at least 100 times. I will never make that mistake again. Update. This isn't the first time I've left him. It's the fourth, but it's the one for good. I'm done. I've been saving money since I left the first time 2 years ago. I'm not trapped with him anymore. When I left the second time, I knew being a housewife would never give me leverage in our relationship, so I got a job. Back then it was just to even the playing field and show him I can earn my keep. Now it's literally my saving grace. Half our relationship was built on lies. He told me he was 8 years older at first, then 10, then the truth of it being 15 came out. that I've always tried to get over, because people deserve forgiveness according to my dad. I just want to know what peace is like in my own home. I went straight from living with my dad to living with my boyfriend/current husband. I can comfortably take blame for how my marriage is, how my life is. My dad may have conditioned and started a lot of it, but I'm old enough to have put my foot down a long time ago. My husband and my father being the only two men I've ever had any type of relationship at 27 is my own fault. Sure, I was taught growing up that when men are around, don't make eye contact and keep my head down, and I did it always because good girls listen is what I was taught and all I ever knew. How did the wave of feminism keep missing me? How did I allow my father to push away every close female relationship I had? How did I allow both of them to alienate me from the world? 2 years ago, a woman my age, I think, asked for a tampon in the bathroom and I gave her one, and we had a 5-minute conversation of girl talk that I gushed over. I played it over and over for months until I realized it was absolutely insane. All she did was ask me what my favorite coffee order was and said I was pretty and she loved my handmade earrings. I had an extra pair in my car and gave them to her and she hugged me. That was it. But I held on to those 5 minutes because it was the last time I had an interaction with a human being that didn't leave me feeling empty. He texted and called nonstop after I left. I went back to our home, his house, to get necessities with headphones on, and he came out of nowhere and snatched them off my head and destroyed them. AirPod Maxes I just bought. I just kept packing and ignored everything he said until I realized my passport was gone. He won't admit it, but he 100% has it. I know it. He wouldn't sign the papers. We argued a bit and I finally just said it. I don't love you anymore. I can't love someone like you. I'm a grown woman now, and I don't want to be with you anymore. He countered with, you can't survive without me. I'm the only man who's ever loved you. You don't have anything without me. I'm the breadwinner. This is my house. You have no money, no family, no friends. He's only right about the last two. I told him that we don't have a prenup, and if we divorce with him fighting me on it, I'll get half of everything. But if he signs the papers I gave him, it agrees to leave him the house and all furniture, 3 or 4 cars, and 80% of the money in our savings and investments. I can walk away and start over. I want to walk away and start over. He, on the other hand, probably needs a retirement plan that isn't young women. It's more than he deserves, but I don't want to look at anything I have and be reminded of him. When he realized the yelling and threats wouldn't work, he tried tears, and I almost caved. Then I remembered he was effing 42 years old on his knees crying about a 27-year-old that just wanted to be treated with love, dignity, and respect. I gave him close to a decade of my life, of nothing but loyalty and love. When he lashed out in anger, I responded with love. I'm all out of love. I picked a random Airbnb over state lines so he has little pull here, and my job is allowing me to work remotely for now. I can already see a life that's actually worth living coming to me. I have a lot of legal stuff to figure out that will be a headache, but it's still a smaller headache than loving him was. I don't think I'll go back.